What we're going to do this episode, I'm going to switch up the party a little bit for a couple of people for whom this will be useful and for whom this will be relevant. I'm actually going to slap those equipments on someone. Yes, we've got a second visual now. We have glasses type 1. Apparently we only had glasses type 2 before. These ones have frames. It's all very exciting. Basically, there's a frameless and a frame glasses. That's a very funny look. As is that. As is that. As is that. And even Fiora can wear glasses. Yep. No, thank you. But we will, I think... Well, she's currently got a cap with Ether Up Hive on it, and these are just better gear and just as much Ether Up, so... Master glasses on Melia, please. And then... Do we want to put the Titan plate on Ryan? Yeah, damage heal isn't incredible, but frankly, heavy armor very rarely comes with things on it, so... Because how does damage heal work? It's not guaranteed, if I remember correctly. Yeah, 25% chance of recovering 100 HP when attacked. If it was always, then that'd be quite something. But hey, it is better than nothing. Anything that makes Ryan a bit tankier is to be done. What we are about to do is the strangest side quest in the game. It is completely unique for two reasons. Number one, while everything we'll be doing this episode is completely optional, it is pretty much the clearest that any individual side quest ever ties directly into main story. As part of that, it is the only side quest in the entire game. Have I gone the right way? Yes, I have. It is the the only side quest in the entire game to feature voice acting. And I don't know if that was they ever planned to do all of them, or just this one has it. Weirdly, this kind of feels like it almost shouldn't be a side quest, because it's dealing with something that does kind of matter to tying up some plot threads, but it is absolutely a side quest when it comes to the fact that it is tying up something that would otherwise be a loose end, but it's not really relevant to anything else. So it's a nice option. I'm surprised, I guess, that there aren't more of these that kind of tie up some stuff without being something we've got to stop and take a break from the main quest for. As in, I don't like it when main quests tend to, be a, hey, we're going to tie off this thing. It's like, cool, but I want to go forward rather than backwards. Either way, here, lying on the ground outside the colony, is the beginning of our quest. Melancholy Tyrea. You found a collapsed high NT outside Colony 6. There must have been a reason she was on the lower levels.
Who's this? Ain't she the one who attacked us in the capital?
You!
Tyrea! What are you doing here? You're hurt.
Do not touch me, vile girl!
Watch it! Oh.
Tyrea, what happened?
Is she dead?
No. It looks like she just passed out. Let's get her to the infirmary. Rhine!
Come on, why me?
Please.
Is she okay?
Her injuries aren't severe. When the Bionis awoke, the ether flow around the colony became unstable. Maybe that's why she lost consciousness.
No, that's not what I meant.
You mean, why didn't she become a Telethia?
Precisely.
For pure-blooded high Entia to become Telethia, the ether energy surrounding the Bionis has to be above a certain level. Luckily, the level of ether energy here is not as high as on the upper regions of Bionis. That may be what kept her safe. Or perhaps...
Perhaps what?
No. It's nothing.
Something about this makes me feel uneasy.
I know what you mean. We'll have to keep an eye on her recovery.
Why does she hate you so much, Melia? You're both high Entia. Is being pure-blooded really that important?
Tyrea's birth mother is most likely my stepmother. You don't mean Umea? Yes. I heard about it from Callian after I returned from the tomb. Mother was the leader of the Inquisitors, a secretive organization operating in the shadows of the Imperial household. The group plotted to maintain the Imperial bloodline through a clandestine ritual. the ritual where Tyrea was conceived.
And she was secretly raised as an Inquisitor assassin. Hold on a sec. Are you saying that Tyrea is Callion's half-sister?
That's right. Then isn't she in the same position as you?
That is correct.
Tyrea! You're awake!
I had more right to the throne than she ever did. Were it not for the consort system that has so polluted the pride of our people, it would have been me, a pure-blooded High Entier, who would build the future of our people. But you... you are a hypocrite, just like me. If we are honest, what is the difference? You too would take the lives of your own people to protect your bloodline. Melia, you too are nothing but an assassin.
You're wrong.
I don't buy that for a second.
Rhine!
Pride of your people? How about you're jealous of Melia?
Do you really think I would be jealous of her?
Ain't ya? You're envious of her, right? Of how she lives her life. You just want everyone to feel sorry for you, for being in the shadows all your life.
How dare you? No Hom speaks to me like that.
I'm saying that you'll never have a life like Melia's. You don't have the faintest idea why Melia's been fighting. Even if you'd been born in her place, the Emperor still would have chosen her as his successor. Succeeding the Imperial line ain't all about blood. It's about taking on the will to do whatever it takes, for your land, for your people, when the time comes. That's what makes Melia different from you.
How dare you?
Both of you, stop this! This is no time for pointless bickering.
He's right. We survivors shouldn't be fighting amongst ourselves. Right, time's up. I want the room cleared out.
Yeah, okay.
And you need to calm down and get some rest.
Ugh. Me? Envious? I only think of my people. What is that?
What's going on?
Look! Over there! The colony!
Telethia!
Guys, she's gone.
Tyrea, you mean? Could that Telethia be her?
No. At least, I'm fairly certain.
What?
There's no time now. We must pursue it.
So that updates the quest to a really annoying objective, which is look for a mysterious Telethia in the same spot as a past Telethia battle in Magna Forest. There's somewhere where I really thought that were going to be, and it's not the obvious place. First thing, I really like Ryan's rant there, where he kind of yells about what makes Melia different from Tyrea. I think that's really cool. But we need to do some stuff. I need to make sure we got some stuff. Oh, yes, of course, I got quite a few art books. Need to plug some parts into these. By plug some parts, I mean some levels, obviously. Do I still want summon ice on? No, power effect is more useful. So what I want to do with Shulk is bring Monado Shield right up to max level. We'll need it going forward. We really will. I also want to slap armor up a little bit. Yes, we're going to be doing some dangerous stuff in the coming episodes, so definitely need things at high level. So, I was very sure that the location in Magna Forest was going to be the contaminated area where you first saw Melia meet the Dino Beast, or, which is annoying to walk to, the decayed forest down there where we first fought it. It's neither of those. It is the first place we encountered Telethia, which is when Shulk and Alvis encountered the four Telethia that may have been Melia's companions at the lakeside.
It must be Tyrea after all.
What do we do? Do we have to fight her?
There's no time to think about it. Ready yourselves!
So this is a fight against level 80 Mysterious Telethia. I think we can take it. I'm going to summon a Flare, which I'm going to keep on in order to keep Shulk and Ryan's strength up. Then I'm going to start basically firing Thunderbolts at it. I think I can probably topple it with Spear Break and Starlight Kick, but we'll see. It matters quite a lot. Ah, yes, there we go, we can topple it. It matters quite a lot to keep... Oh, that's a hefty topple, actually. We should be alright. It matters quite a lot to keep Shulk's shield at full. This thing has an art that can absolutely ruin your day. But generally, we should be alright. Wow, a Spear Break and Starlight Kick actually recharge much faster than I think, so... We're doing exactly what we should be doing here, which is... oh, here we go. Ultimate Cannon 9. Didn't even give me a vision for that. I just did 5,000 damage to Ryan, which is a bit obnoxious. But we're doing what we should be doing here. Ryan sits in front and tanks. Shulk sticks around the side and does his kind of like supporty stuff. And Melia casts stuff. We can maybe topple lock. Do I dare? Fuck it, right. This is possibly a bit ballsy, especially because I haven't actually got that many summons, but there we go. What to do? Shit. Let's start with a Spear Break. You'll see why in a second. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just do a topply, breaky kind of chain attack. That was a really shit chain attack. I really should have used... I don't know why I didn't use a summon with Melee, but there we go. Either way, we've got a decent bit of chain on it. I guess I didn't want to get rid of the flare, but we have another flare ready. But yes, we want... So, Monado Shield can only block an art that is the same level or lower than Monado Shield. Here we go, now we're getting visions. Ultimate Cannon 9 needs to be... Shield needs to be level 9 or higher in order to block this. And for the rest of the fight, I'm not really going to risk doing chain attacks because we need this for visions. But Shield, of course, means that does one. I don't know why Ultimate Cannon... I suppose because it's a talent art. But I don't know exactly. It's not super clear why that isn't an Ether art, because that would be much harder to block, but I guess it's because it's absurdly powerful. Well, we've toppled it as well, which is pretty good. Let's put the Earth Poison over Time back on. That's just a really nice way of doing damage with Melee without drawing any aggro at all, he says. Oh no. Ryan, we need aggro. Aggro, please, Ryan. There we go. So, we are actually doing pretty good here. This is about as high as we can comfortably... Well, this is literally as high as we can comfortably fight an enemy above us, because at any more than 5 levels, and they have that annoying thing where their name, rather than being yellow, is red, and almost everything misses. Also, weirdly, it can, but very rarely for a Telethia, use a Soul Read. So you really don't have to worry about that. We have got Melia here, should it be needed. And we've got Shulk as well if you want to, in order to kind of purge. But I've kind of more got these characters here because this story is a bit more relevant to them. And they're kind of a bit more involved in this part of the quest, rather than because we particularly need their fighting abilities. Ryan is very useful to have for this, but yeah, don't need stuff for dealing with Soul Read because this thing basically never uses it. But it has a lot of very dangerous, as you can see, talent arts. What's going to happen with that? Is Shield still going to be active when that hits? No, there we go. Anyway, we killed it.
Shulk, I must...
I know.
Stop!
Tyrea! You're safe.
You do realize that Telethia is Umea.
Umea?
I was pursuing Umea. Even though she knew it was her fate to transform, she remained faithful to the Bionis.
But why? Didn't she feel betrayed?
Everyone has their own beliefs, and what they believe is their own choice. Umea adhered to her path. I pursued her so that I could fulfill her final wish.
Her final wish?
Umea was imprisoned within the Tower of Investigation. She told me that after she transformed into a Telethia, I was to destroy her as quickly as possible. She wished to sacrifice herself to the Bionis. At least, that is what I believed at first. But I now understand Umea's true desire. That is why I must...
This is my responsibility.
Melia, why?
Father entrusted me with the Empire and its people. What I believe in is the will of those struggling to survive. I have to fight if I am to convey this to the next generation. Besides, Umea is your birth mother. There is no need for you to carry out such an unpleasant task.
Is the same not true of you? You may not be of her blood, but you still think of her as your...
This is a duty that my father and brother conferred upon me.
Melia.
Tyrea, I believe you and I are alike.
Alike! Never, vile girl! My gratitude for assisting Umea. I mean, Mother.
Tyrea,
Well, there she goes.
is she going to be okay on her own?
She'll be all right. We and Tyrea share the same goal. Our paths are sure to meet again.
Yeah, you're right. Melia, what did you mean just now? When you said you and Tyrea are alike?
Tyrea must be half Homs, just like me.
What? But the wings on her head.
Not all half-blooded high-entier have small wings, only the majority. Some are indistinguishable from pure-blooded high-entier. Dominant and recessive inheritance. I've studied this.
So that's why.
Melia, do you think Umea knew this would happen?
Perhaps. Actually, she had to have known. At least, that's what I believe.
She was her mother after all. She must have been aware.
Yes.
And there we go. That, I guess, wraps up Melancholy Tyrea. Auto attack stealth 6 is pretty good. The Empress staff, let's see if that's any good. It looks different. I bet it'll look crap, because all of Melia's staffs do. Yeah. Kind of very similar to the... Like, they're all in the same colour scheme, and they'd all just look like a really flat texture stuck onto something. It's kind of why I've stayed with the one I've got, because it's the only one that doesn't look ass. Is it any good from a technical perspective? No, not really. Oh, Unbeatable 4 is actually not half bad. But I want to stay with my own gems on this one. But I'll put the auto attack stealth on Shulk, because that's really nice. I mean, it would also be nice on melee, but there we go. Yeah, I assume as well that you are as blindsided as I was when I first played this. The fact that the Hyentia can fly, that she just gets up and flaps away with the wings on their head, they really don't seem like they should work for that, and that is the only time in the game there's any suggestion that Hyentia can fly with their wings. It kind of... That quest annoys me. It should be better than it is, and it kind of attempts to wrap up some of the stuff with kind of Yumea and the Bionite Order and the Inquisitors and that, but it kind of doesn't do it amazingly well. Because, yeah, like, I really thought that was going to come to more of a thing when they're like, oh, they're people who are dedicated to the Bionists. They're like, oh, so surely they'll be involved. They'll know that the whole Telethia thing and stuff like that, but it kind of never really comes to much. It's theorized that kind of Lorithia, the disciple of Zanza, was kind of part of that, because obviously she'd want to create a cult in the Hyentia that are devoted to the Bionists. That's a useful thing for her to do. We get some final thoughts on that quest, though, randomly here from Yumea's maid, who just stands here. Quite why this isn't delivered throughout the rest of the thing, I have no idea, but here we go.
Hi there.
I was the one responsible for Lady Yumea during her incarceration. I, her maid, sat with her in the Tower of Investigation. I will never forget that night, the eve of the Bionist awakening, for I heard a story that deeply affected me. Apparently, Lady Tyrea was conceived at a clandestine ritual. Such rituals were customary to protect the pure Hyentia. It was not known at the time, but her father was half Homs. Yes, can you believe it? He was of mixed lineage, and when this was discovered, he was thrown out of their order. He has not been seen since. However, there is more. It was customary to remove the child from the Imperial line. However, Yumea, despite her duty to the Order, gave birth to Tyrea, and even now it is not clear why Yumea dared to defy the Order. Straight after the Bionist awoke, Tyrea visited her mother. The two of them sat, and Yumea told her the story I tell you now. On that dreaded night, Yumea poured her heart out to her child. I believe I witnessed Yumea's dying words of love to Tyrea. Yeah, weird that isn't delivered throughout the thing, and at least there, it's like, okay, she was like quarter Homs because her father was half Homs. It makes more sense than all these like mysterious Homs that are just kicking around Alchemoth for the Hyentia to bang. Like, to say that, you know, short wings and whatnot is a thing, you don't see any Homs in Alchemoth, ever, which is slightly odd. Anyway, I guess we will wrap up there. Next episode, we're going to be doing a big old series of side quests, but it's a good one. It's called Restoring the Capital, and it's about trying to take back Alchemoth, which will be a lot of fun. Hope you'll join me then. Thank you very much, and good day.